Wednesday, November 9th, 2016. My co-host today is Megyn Kelly, everybody. Straight from the front lines, let's get into it. We have a new president of the United States. Donald J. Trump is the president of the United States.
Well, president-elect.
President-elect of the United States, right? Correct?
What we'd been told by the pollsters was not matching the sentiment of the American people.
Okay, so how do the pollsters get it so wrong? How did they get it that wrong? Because I was telling you backstage that I had people over at my house, and I know a lot of people had people over at their houses, and they were all watching in large viewing parties. And then within our group, everybody had some pollster on the inside in their group.
Yep.
So, and they were all giving us and everyone I knew incorrect information. So,
well, what they think so far is that there really was a hidden Trump vote. You know, you heard some people talk about the hidden Trump vote. And the reason they say that happened is because when the pollsters called up and figured out if you were a likely voter, they weren't counting enough Trump voters who really were going to come to the polls this time. People who didn't go in 2012 got ruled out as not likely voters, but that they felt differently about Trump and said, I'm going to get there. And the other thing was some people felt stigmatized about voting for Donald Trump and didn't want to tell the pollsters who they were going to vote for, and yet they did want to go into the polling booth and do what they felt was right. And so, I mean, it was a resounding victory. There's no question about it. When we were seeing these states come in, we're sitting out there, and Chris Wallace was to my left, and Brett Baer was to my right, and there was a moment around 8:40 or 9 o'clock at night where Wallace said, Donald Trump could actually win this thing, right? And then the light bulb goes off, and people like, holy, right, blank.
right.
Because it wasn't at all what we had been told.
Yeah, right.
You know, by these pollsters, by virtually every pollster, except for basically that LA Times poll that consistently showed Trump ahead, because they only surveyed one group of voters the entire time. They never did random. It was like we took everybody in the audience. We just kept asking you for the entire election
over and over again.
So you didn't have any shame. You didn't really care. It's like, I've told Megyn 5 times who I'm voting for. I'm going to tell her again.
Wow.
So that they got it right.
Looking out in the you don't have an audience at your studio.
No,
okay,
I had like 4 people in the studio.
I'm
this
sort
is
of
exciting.
I know. So I'm like staring out at the audience, and I've been trying to sort of take the temperature, you know, just sort of out in the universe today.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody has sort of the same look on their face, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
Stunned?
I'm just stunned. Is that what it is?
Helpful in life and in politics to try to perceive the other person through the most generous lens. And if people can perceive Donald Trump through that lens now and give him the benefit of the doubt, and if the Trump supporters can start to perceive the other half of the country in that same way, maybe there'll be, I'm not going to say a healing moment, but perhaps something a little bit more positive. I will say this, you know, love him or hate him, he's the president-elect of our country. And the one thing he needs more than anything right now is our prayers.
Oh my gosh.
And good wishes for a strong performance. He's got a lot to deal with. And so even if, you know, that's one of the things that makes us great is we go through this electoral process, we get battered and bruised, but at the end of it, we do accept the result. We get behind our president. We can fight still. You know, there can be disagreements on policy. You can criticize positions or language or, you know, certain statements, but we all share the same basic core values as Americans, and that's what we should focus on, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Well said.
Thank you.